Thank you for taking the time out on a Monday evening to attend this webinar, which Driving Instructor Business Coaching. This webinar is I'm going to be on for about an hour, no longer than an hour. And this webinar basically covers how you're going to discover as an ADI how you can easily get 10 block bookings of driver lessons in an hour for free. Now, it could be actually more than that if you just apply some simple strategies. Now, I'm going to share with you what you can do as of today. When you leave this webinar, I guarantee you can start to implement these strategies on your driving school business. And if you just follow my simple steps, which I'm going to go with you, you can start to use this. And there's nobody out there that's using this. And I guarantee you at the end of this webinar, you're going to feel that's a smart strategy there that no one else is using. So let me just briefly go over my story. At 14, I went to a boarding school in East Sussex. I had a lot of energy at school, so to speak. I was always getting in fights, and not involved with crime, but I was always getting in fights, and I had so much energy. And that was in 1983, 84. I went to a boarding school in East Sussex, and actually it was the same one as Frank Bruno, believe it or not. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. And at that school, I realized that I had a lot of ideas within my mind and my brain that I wasn't actually aware of. So I went to the school, and I left the school a year early and went to college a year early because I got put up into a class above me in the school. I did a business and finance course. I haven't got any degrees or any big major qualifications. I'm just a normal guy that just tries to work smart, and I'm always looking to develop and learn all the time. My first job was an administrative assistant for the Ministry of Defence. A job I hated. I was responsible for 21 squadron leaders, and as you can imagine, working for those guys was very, very interesting and challenging. And after a year, I had to just leave. I left there and went to work for an American oil company called Chevron. And I liked working there at Chevron. I was there for several years, and I was a mail clerk in there. So I was the one walking around with a trolley, saying good morning to you in your office and dropping off your mail and picking up your mail. And then I was promoted to the accounts department within that as well. And I was in the office of about, I suppose, 15 people, and most of them were women. And, oh, geez, if you're a man working in the office with lots of women, they're very, very different to working with men. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to make any sexist comments. But what happened with Chevron was that they were announcing redundancies within the company, and they were making redundancies, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And my sister at the time, I was about 26, 27, and my sister recently passed the driving test, but she was very, very nervous at driving wherever she was going, believe it or not. She had a Fiat Panda. Remember that car, Fiat Panda? And what happened, we used to go and visit our grandparents, and not around now, but at that time we used to go and visit our grandparents in Croydon. And I'd let her drive there, but I was more or less teaching her to drive there because she was very nervous and she didn't really know how to get to Croydon myself. I passed my driving test 10 years prior to her anyway, so I could already drive. And she should say to me, oh, you're really patient, you're really good, you should be a driving instructor. And I thought, well, no. I said, no, I can't be a driving instructor, because I was still working at Chevron. And at the time, Chevron were making redundancies, and they sponsored everybody in the company that they would nominate £2,000 to every employee in the company to go and train up to be re-employed with any company they want. So what I decided to do was, wow, the more I was looking into this, I was inquiring about becoming a driving instructor, the 3 examinations, etc. And they gave me £2,000. I paid that to BSM, and I qualified as an instructor. And after BSM, I went to AA. AA driving school as well. And from there, I appeared on TV several times. Some of you may have already seen some of the footage on the website which you attended, but I was on Richard and Judy twice actually, and Comic Relief, one of my driving schools, went on there, and Mirror Signal Maneuver, there was another program on there, and I was becoming labelled as an ADI celeb because I was always sort of getting on TV, and I think it was mainly to do with my name as well, and a lot of ADI television companies, sorry, used to say that to come over quite well, and it was quite funny as well. And recently this year, I was on the One Show, acting as an examiner, which you should be able to see there as well. So I was more like a people's person. Always, one of the managers at Chevron said to me, "I can't see you sitting in an office, Des. I can see you being out there, working with people, and being a people's person." So I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I know that I could help and inspire and change people's lives. So I set up Des O'Connor's driving school in London, but unfortunately in 2001 and 2003, both my parents passed away, which was sudden. That was a big shock for me, and that's when, if you have anything happen to you like that in your family, you can relate to what I am actually saying and feeling. I'm still actually feeling it up until today, and that was really major turning point in my life. And then what happened then was I got married in 2005 and had a family, and unfortunately got divorced in 2007. And as we know, these things happen. I won't go into the ins and outs of it, but it was a very painful experience for me. So psychologically, there was 3 losses there for me. Both my parents passed away, and I got divorced, which was another loss. So there was lots of emotions and feelings going around in my life at that time. And I was searching for answers and solutions to how I can improve my life. And what I decided to do, I kept coming across life coaching courses. And the more and more I was looking at coaching and life coaching, this is in 2007, by the way. I got divorced in 2007. And I noticed that at the time there's about, I don't know, 35, 40,000 ADIs on the register. And at that time, there wasn't anybody helping ADIs with life coaching, because in order to be successful, you need to improve the areas of your life. And secondly, there was nobody providing driving instructors with business coaching and marketing back then. I'm aware that since then, there's been a couple of people that have been providing a service to ADIs, which is great. But at that time, there was nobody doing it at all. And I thought, wow, this is a fantastic opportunity, because I was very passionate about marketing. I was very passionate about improving people's lives. And, I had a successful driving school. I had 15 instructors working for me in London. And unfortunately, because of my divorce, that driving school went down to 0. And I wasn't in that correct place, that right place. So I decided I qualified as a life coach. Now, I qualified as a life coach originally to work with ADIs, originally to work with you guys, originally to hold events like these, hold workshops, hold webinars, and providing solutions to our instructors can improve their life as well as recruit more pupils. And I just fell into working with single women. You may have did some research on me and seen what other things that I do, but I'm a qualified relationship coach, and I've been working with single women, helping them find the right man in their life. But it didn't take away the fact that I originally wanted to do driving instructor business coaching as well, and I didn't want to stop doing that. So I qualified as a life coach. I won't go into the ins and outs of how that came about, but I just fell into it accidentally. So I've been helping single women to improve their life. I then won Relationship Coach of the Year award by the Association of Professional Coaches, Trainers and Consultants. Just Google those guys and you'll see what they do. And that was such a fantastic opportunity for me, because that has been able to open so many doors for me in the future. Then So 1 second, I just want to double check something. Okay. You guys can hear me clearly? Everything fine? Just making sure? Okay, brilliant. And then I got the opportunity to tour the USA in June this year as well. And also, don't want to keep blowing my trumpet, so you got an idea where I'm coming from. And my book launch is going to be on September the 27th, 2014 in London. So I'm holding a book launch. I'm writing a book for the Single Women. So that's more or less what I've been doing. I've been in ADI now for the last 17 years. So there's nothing that I don't know about the industry, from the examiners to pupils to ADIs, you name it. So let's look at the history of driving instructor business coaching, DIBC as I like to refer to it as well. So let me just give you how I came into it and why I haven't been doing anything for the last couple of years. Now, it was launched on January the 9th, 2011 by a webinar just like this. And it was a new thing. There's all these ADIs that didn't know what was going on. Who's this guy that's doing this webinar? There was nobody doing webinars at that time for ADIs and how they can recruit more pupils and all these kind of things. And I just created all these 14 steps on how ADIs can improve their business with their school. So there's 93 ADIs registered for this webinar. And it was also supported by the DIA. I had the full support of the Driving Instructors Association, Steve Garrod and Mike Frisbee were supporting it. And I held a seminar in London and they both attended and supported that. So this was a big thing that, the DIA, there's not many ADIs that can go to the DIA, prepare them a proposal or presentation, and they said, right, what you're doing looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to support this. So the webinar was my first ever one that I had on January the 9th. And I must be honest with you, I was very, very nervous. And do you know when you're doing something and you either feel confident? For example, I feel totally confident now what I'm doing now, 100%. I know what I'm doing and I'm in that place where I know exactly that I'm very confident. But this webinar, I was 50-50. Plus, I had some emotional, personal things going on in my life, which I was trying to put to the side, and it just wasn't the right time for me to hold this webinar. And what I did on this webinar, I didn't click on the audio button. So what happened, can you imagine, like you're watching this webinar and you cannot hear me, and all you could see are these slides. And can you imagine, I'm in my room, I've got my laptop out, I've got all these slides going on, and I didn't know that nobody could hear me. I mean, I'm asking you now, and thankfully you've all said, yes, you can hear me, but nobody could hear me. So I didn't know what the problem was at the time. So I didn't know what. So the more and more I was looking into it, I didn't know what was going on. So 93 ADIs didn't go on. They started posting on their walls and their Facebook, and it was just getting ridiculous. I was being slated. It didn't look good because the DIA was involved. As you can imagine, it wasn't a good time, and it was not the right time for me at that moment in time, to be honest. And those of you that did attend that last year, it just wasn't the right time, and I apologize for that. And my goal was also to train ADIs to become business coaches for the ADI industry, because there is such a large selection of ADIs out there that need business and marketing coaching within their driving school business, and some of them just don't have a clue. Some of them just rely on word of mouth. Some of them just rely on putting a cone on top of their car and sitting there and waiting, as we know. And there's some instructors that you see their car and it's just got an L on the top. How can somebody call them? And it always baffles me why ADIs do that. And as we all know, we all qualified with the DSA, as we know, and the syllabus, the qualification process, or whatever you want to call that, never had anything on business and marketing. Nothing at all. And even to date now, there's still nothing. I think there's some odd workshops now and again that's going on, but since I've been known for the last 17 years, there was nowhere for us to been able to recruit more pupils. Just the standard. What did we have to do? We had to put a rooftop on our car, put an advert in Yellow Pages or Thompson back then, because there was internet, but everybody wasn't really on it as it was now. There wasn't no social media, and rely on word of mouth. That was it. There was no other strategies. There was no other way that we could do that. So what other opportunities were there? So I thought, okay, well, why don't I train ADIs to then become qualified business coaches for the ADI industry? So I was going to hold a course, a weekend course where ADIs was going to train them up. The DIA was supporting it, and then you guys could just go out there and train, basically do what I'm doing now, meeting ADIs on a one-on-one. You can charge more, and the list is endless. And even if you become a business coach now, you know that you'd be busy, because I cannot serve all the ADIs in the ADI industry. There's too many of you. So what needs to happen was, if ADIs knew in their area that there were ADIs that they could go to or contact to help them recruit more pupils, that would have been a benefit to them. So here I am today, back after 2 years. And the reason why when DIBC got launched in 2009, it affected my confidence. It took a lot out of me, because that I didn't do another webinar for a very long time, because when when I was focusing on that, I had a fear of doing it again, just in case that did happen. Okay, someone's had to leave. Okay, no problem, my dear. And what was happening was that I was lacking confidence. So I said to myself, okay, I want to come back and make this weakness with me in my life a strength. Now I'm holding webinars. I've been training myself. I've been learning webinars, and I knew that I would come back, whether it was 2 years or 3 years, to deliver this here now. So what I would like to say is that there's no excuses. There was no excuses for me for what happened 2 years ago. Some ADIs got let down, and I'd like to apologize for those who got let down, because you may hear some stories about what happened 2 years ago, and now you've heard it from myself. This is going to be recorded anyway, so people can hear exactly what went down. And now I'm come back where everything's bulletproof now, so everything's finally in place. So just wanted to get that off the record now as well. Here's me winning the Relationship Coach of the Year award. And that's the award ceremony. Like I said, I've been on BBC One. That's the chairman on the left there, Chris Black, and on the right there is Dr. Topher Morrison, a fantastic top entrepreneur from America. And there have been more awards happening this year as well, again, which I'm going to I've been nominated for Trainer of the Year award as well. So here's what I've done also. I've also appeared in the DIA magazines on various articles for marketing, MSA as well. Channel 4, Richard and Judy twice I've been on as well. Comic Relief, as you've also seen that video on there. And Mirror Signal Maneuver on the BBC One. And I've always been passionate about marketing, and I knew I would come up with a simple strategy that will help ADIs to be very successful. So please honestly answer this question, guys, when it's on this webinar now. Just answer this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, okay, how much effort have you put into making your driving school business successful? Just do me a favor. In your box, just type in a number between 1 and 10, what that will be. And I won't disclose it to anybody, but just give me an idea. Be honest with yourself. To date, how much effort have you really been giving? Is it a 10? Is it a 1? Just put the number in there so I can have an idea. Thank you. I've had a 10. Wow. 6, 9. Anybody else? 5, 4, 3, 6, 1, 5. So on average, it's about, I'm seeing people are typing in, it's about 5. Okay, thank you. Just wanted to have an idea of that. In coaching in coaching terms, that would be a coaching question, or just to see where you're at with that. Now, I wanted you to just picture this ideal situation for how an ADI on how to get pupils. Okay, just picture this for a minute. Imagine if you hired a local hotel in your area and you invited all your pupils to bring friends who are interested in learning to drive by promotional tools prior to that, for example, Facebook, email, flyers, and you'd hold this on a Sunday afternoon at about 3 p.m. Okay, so just picture that for a minute. Your local hotel, you've blitzed everybody and saying, look, I'm holding a presentation at this hotel in a couple of Sundays' time. Just get everybody to bring people who are interested in learning to drive to this event. So you then get your family and friends to help promote this event. Social media platforms, like I said before, you could be texting, you could be ringing around, you could be talking to your pupils leading up to it. So if you gave yourself a 4 to 6 week window leading up to this and you spoke to all your pupils, you'd know that those pupils would most probably bring people for you, and you'd then have a lot of people attending that. And let's say also that you prepare a PowerPoint presentation like this one, promoting all your services, for example, your prices, a picture of your car, your special offers, Pass Plus, motorway lessons, your pass rates, etc. You get the gist. And also testimonials from current and previous pupils as well. Videos and text and pictures and stuff like that as well, so that you can use that as a powerful tool as well, because if you've got pupils that have passed their test from you, then that's good publicity for you as well. Now, would these possible pupils be warm and easy to convert into bookings? So can you imagine all your pupils brought their friends from college or school or whatever to a hotel where you'd be there presenting? Do you think they will be easy or difficult to convert? They'll be easy, wouldn't they? Because they're very, very warm. They've come from referrals, and the mere fact they've made the effort to come out to see your presentation, they're interested in learning to drive. And as we know as ADIs, there's nothing better than having an excited pupil that wants to learn to drive, especially if they've got, you know, the money in the bank. That's what we want to hear. I've got the money in the bank. I've got a couple of grand in the bank. I want to learn to drive. I just want to get it out of the way as quick as possible. Those pupils are the best pupils for us. Now, why would you not use this strategy? Why hasn't anybody ever used this strategy as well? I'm just showing you a scenario. If you did try this, for example, and you gave it 100%, your best shot, okay? How many do you think would attend? And how many bookings do you think you would have from that? Just picture that. And I know it may sound daunting. You've got to pay for the hotel and you've got to promote it. But let's say it became successful. Let's say you did do what you was going to do, especially now with social media. But supposing you did do that and you had a selection of pupils. Now, obviously, not everybody would turn up, but some would turn up, right? Suppose you recorded this as well. So you got someone to record it on their phone, or someone's got a camcorder. Everybody knows somebody. And you made it as a DVD or a YouTube clip. And you simply invited all potential pupils to watch and access this, and had it available to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just think of that for the minute. Sorry, my laptop decided to freeze then. So let's have a look at the earning potential from this. I'm going to be very conservative here with this situation. We're still talking about this situation about the hotel and you inviting people. So let's say, for example, you invited 30 people. And that's a combination of friends, pupils, family, promotion, just generally everybody that you knew that knows you, and also most probably people that you don't know maybe. And you could promote those to various aspects. And let's say you may have a pupil that that's at a school or a college, and you gave them a flyer or a sheet of paper, or they could just text everybody or whatever. But let's say you invited 30 people. And out of those 30, not all of them are going to turn up, okay? We know that. Not all of them are going to turn up because, as you know, things get in the way. Now, let's say only 13 of those 30 turned up. And those 13 people brought 2 people each, okay? So you got 13 people, whether it's family or friends. It's mostly going to be the pupils anyway. But those 13 pupils brought 2 people each to this hotel to see you give a presentation. So let's say you're out of those 26, each of those booked a block of 10 hours with you. Let's say, for argument's sake, I don't know how much you guys charge, but on average it's about £20 an hour. So let's say out of those 26, out of those 13, those would be 26, which would be £200, which would be £5,600. Now let's say that was half. Let's say that was 50%. So 50% would be £2,800. Is everybody with me so far? So 50% of that will be £2,800. Now let's have a look at the costs, what it would cost for you to hold this event, for argument's sake. Hotels usually charge on a Sunday afternoon is usually about £50 per hour. Okay, so let's say it was about £100 because you don't want a long presentation. You most probably want to present for about half an hour, 45 minutes at the max, depending on the questions. So you wouldn't want the hotel or the conference room or whatever for too long. And I'd say the promotional material, you know, if you're going to get any flyers designed and printed, etc., and things like that, I'd say, let's say it was another £100 as well. So let's say the total costs for that would be a couple of £100. Let's say it's £200. So the profit there would be the £2,800 minus £200, which would mean £2,600 in advance bookings. If this strategy worked, if you did actually go out there and do this, that's how much you'd make, which, if you think about that, I don't know any ADIs that's getting 13 block bookings or even 10, but 13 block bookings in an hour, which, you know, as we know, that is a lot of money for us for that to happen. Now, would this help your driving school if this happened to you? Of course it would. You'd be doing it all the time if it worked the first time, and you would just keep reinvesting and reinvesting that. Now, how long would it take for you to earn this? How long would it take for you to earn nearly £3,000 as an ADI? You know, that's a lot of hours. Lots and lots of hours, as we know. People think that, you know, we charge £22 an hour or £25 an hour and all that money's ours. As we know, it doesn't work like that. You know, if you're paying a franchise or you've got petrol and other costs come into that, and that hourly rate is significantly reduced. But only we know that. So what about an even easier way to do this? The same strategy with the hotel, but an easier way on how to do this. I'm going to show you a 7-step formula how you can start to implement this and leave from this webinar and start to use it right away. So here we go. Suppose I could show you an even better way to easily and effectively get loads of pupils like the hotel example without you even have to leave your home. So no hotel booking, no flyers getting printed up. You haven't got to try and convince people to come to the hotel, to sit in the room and attend, etc., because, you know, people are not really going to know. How would you like to be able to provide the same presentation for all of your products and services, which could be seen by potential pupils 24/7 from their mobiles, their Facebook page and laptops, wherever they choose? How would you like to receive payments in advance for each block booking instantly, enabling you to have thousands of pounds in the bank before you even meet your pupils? And how would you like to record your full presentation and have it available as a professional video marketing tool at no cost to be viewed for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Now let's imagine that presentation that you did at the hotel, if you did do that, and that was recorded, and you just wax that on your website or you put it on your Facebook page and your potential pupils would watch your presentation, they book. Of course they'd book because they wasn't there, but you're still delivering the message. And that is what you call leverage. Now, what about an easy to follow step-by-step formula that you can start to use instantly after this webinar? So here we go. So this is the first time this has been introduced to ADIs, and this strategy requires no Google. You don't have to use Google. There's none of this AdWords or SEO, search engine optimization, if some of you don't know what that is, analytics or anything like that. You don't need a website to do this strategy at all. So if you have a website, great. If you don't have a website, because some of us are not technical, it doesn't matter. You don't need a website as well. There's no advertising costs. That's right, no advertising costs. So if you're spending money on Facebook ads or Google ads, or if you're putting an ad in Thompson or Yellow Pages, which I don't think a lot of people do use, but there's no advertising cost. No social media. You can use that as if you want to, but it's not necessary for you to use social media. There's no costs whatsoever, no gift vouchers, no relying on word of mouth, and no cold calling. So here we go. I'm just going to go over now the 7 steps on how ADIs can easily get 10 block bookings of driving lessons in an hour for free. So here we go. Step number 1. You need to list all your previous pupils, families and friends who would help to promote your event. So you're going to be holding an event, and I'll tell you what the event will be, but you need them to do that. Step number 2, you're going to focus on all pupils under the age of 21. The ones that are at school, college, university, part of a team, events, networking, and on Facebook. I'll explain it in a lot more depth as we go along. Step number 3, you need to set up a YouTube account, which is free. Step number 4, prepare your best offer for your referrals as well. Step number 5, learn a PowerPoint presentation like what I'm doing now. It's very easy to do, or get someone to do it for you to learn how to design that. Step number 6, create a PayPal account. Now, most ADIs do not have a PayPal account to receive payments, which I don't actually know why. And you don't even need a website for this. And step number 7, set up a GoToMeeting account for free for 25 attendees. So here we go. Step number 1, list friends, families, previous pupils who were willing to promote you. Now, you need to, if you wanted to get a promo flyer designed, or just use simple text and ask all of them to promote an event you're holding in advance. And I'm sure your family would do that. And if you've got a rapport with your pupils, I'm sure they would do that as well. So what you're doing is you're preparing your strategy, what you're going to be doing. So there's a bit of groundwork you need to put in, but you're preparing yourself for that. You could create a Facebook event and get others to do as well, but that's optional as well. You don't have to do that, but that's an option that you could do as well. And I think most of us are on Facebook anyway. You would select all the mobiles of who you think would promote you, and even the ones that you don't think would promote you. So get all their mobiles listed as well, because you're going to want to contact them, and all they most probably would do was promote that text to other people as well. All your email contacts as well. So all your pupils that you're teaching, make sure you collect all their email addresses, because it's just another avenue of how you can communicate to them as well. List the ones who have a large contact list on Facebook, so you can post on their walls, etc., and stuff like that as well. There's no pupils that are teenagers that are not on Facebook, and their friends on their Facebook list, they're the same age. And never rule out the 16-year-old one, guys. Okay, the ones that are 16, you don't know when they're coming up to 17, but if you plant that seed in their mind that that could be their instructor, and you've got some fantastic perks for them, when they're 17, or when they've sent off for their provisional, they're going to be calling you, and you're getting pupils there as well. Plus, you'll be ahead of all the other fellow ADIs as well. Previous pupils as well, ones that you've taught previously that are passed, and even the ones that never passed. You know, the ones that are started and stopped, and the ones that you know that will never ever make it. You know, I'm talking about those. But as long as you've got a nice rapport going with them and keeping in contact with them, they could help you promote your event as well that you're going to be holding. Like I said before, those that are age 21 and under will have other friends of the similar age. School, uni, classes, students' union rooms, and all those things as well. And also if they're part of a team as well, football, netball, any organisation where there's fellow friends that are the same age, because they're the ones that they're going to be your ambassadors for you as well. Get them to add you to your Facebook page if you have one as well, which is really important as well. Your business page, but not your personal page. It's two separate things. And get them all to Facebook post on your wall for you as well. Now, this is the preparation stage, which will make you £1,000 in an hour if planned properly. And preparation is the key. Now, I guarantee you get all these things in place, that is a massive driving school business marketing strategy in place, ready to launch there as well. So that's step number one. You'll be able to ask me questions at the end as well. Step number two, prepare scripts that sell. And what that means is there's ways of communicating to people and there's ways of not communicating to people to convince them to buy from you. And I'm a seminar junkie. I go to the top seminars where there's top speakers and top marketers, and they always talk about script and copy, and what that means is the language of how you communicate to people. There's a certain psychological way of why people buy. You know, there's reasons why we buy. There's reasons why how you was convinced to attend this webinar. I triggered something in you to say, actually, was it the title? It mostly was the title that made you attend it. So you need to apply this to your pupils. You know, understand what's in their mindset. It's not about you at this stage. It's about understanding your pupil and how to get into their mindset. Now, you can communicate to them by text, email, telephone, you have a flyer, or even a promo video. But it could be something simple as, hi, and the pupil's name if you want. I need your help. I'm holding an event, for example, the X's, and would be great if you could promote this for me to your friends. This will take place on, you give a date, and all you need to do is send this link, and the link's there, as this will help them to, so basically you would say this will help them to pass first time. I want to teach them how to drive. I want to help them to improve their driving, etc. Do you get the gist of that? There's lots of other different ways of how you can communicate this, but it needs to be prepared, and I'd prepare about 10 of those that you could use and make each one of those different as well. So you want to be engaging with the pupil, you want to be talking in their language, nothing too serious, just keep it light-hearted, and as you said, you're asking them for their help. And when people usually ask for their help, they're more likely to help you as opposed to you not coming across as though you're coming across as hardcore selling. So that's step number two. Step number three, you need to set up a YouTube account. Now, I know some ADIs have a YouTube account anyway, where they're showing what they're doing with their pupils in the car, which is absolutely fantastic, which is a marketing tool, which is great. But you need to set up a Gmail account to do this, which is free. And once you set up a Gmail account, when you're setting up your YouTube account, you need to verify your mobile number. So they'll send you a text to the mobile number that you're using, and you then type in that text into the website as a login, and that verifies your mobile. And then you can start to upload videos. You can upload tutorials, and you can even create your own short promo video, and that will be a marketing machine. It could be you teaching, it could be a pupil that's just passed their driving test at a driving test center, which that would be the best time to get a video testimonial, as you know. So then you could just record them. Hi, I've just passed with John's driving school. He's absolutely fantastic, top geezer or top woman or whatever you want to they refer to you as, and you upload it to your YouTube account. Bang, people can see that. You upload it to your Facebook page, or you upload it to your website, or you can even just show it to your pupils when they first get into the car. Very powerful. You'll be able to provide your own TV promotional channel on YouTube, and it doesn't cost you a penny. So that's step number three. This will all make sense at the end, how this all works. Step number four, you need to decide on your best offers and incentives for referrals from your pupils. Now, if your pupil is going to refer you to their friends, you need to provide an incentive for them to do that. And I don't mean, oh, we're going to give you £5 off your next lesson. Give them an incentive, because if they're bringing you potentially a block of 10, which is an extra £200 for argument's sake. If they brought you 3 of those, that's £600 you could be potentially getting that you wasn't getting before. So whether you're going to give them a free driving lesson or whether you're going to give them a free hire of your car a day if you charge or whatever that's going to be. So what I would advise is most people just give them a free lesson for every book of 10 referred. Doesn't have to be that way, but you may have a different way that you want to do that. You may want to give them a free motorway lesson, free Pass Plus lesson, no test car hire for the fee, plan all your offers. So you can plan on all your offers as well. So once you've got a plan on what you're going to provide to them, this will flow when you're speaking to them. This will flow when you're selling this idea to them, because when you're in the car with them and you're asking them the right questions, like you want to know, what do they get involved with sports events? What do they do at the weekend? How many friends do they have that are not learning to drive? How many Facebook friends do they have? Do you get the gist? And once you start to build a relationship with your pupil, you'll be able to understand, oh, because if you think about it, if you've got 10 pupils that potentially has 5 friends that want to learn to drive, you know, that's 50 pupils for you, as you know, and that'll keep you busy for 6 months, as you know. So please just, you know, decide on your best offers and you most probably have those offers as well. Make them attractive. Make them so the pupils can go and start to be your ambassador, because you will be rewarding them for referring people. And like I said before, just subtly mention these in all your lessons in conversation. Just ask them subtly and genuinely, you know, how many of your friends want to learn to drive? And they say, oh yeah, I've got so-and-so, they want to learn to drive. Well, you know, okay. I'll tell you what you do. If you pass them on to me and they book some lessons book a block of lessons with me, I'll give you X. I'll give you a free driver lesson. I'll give you a free double lesson, or we can do a free motorway lesson. That pupil at that age, at 17, 18, 19, will be incentivized to go out there and do that, especially if they're paying for it out of their own pocket money or their savings for Christmas or presents or birthday. It will save them money for doing that. Or even better, if the parents are paying for it, the parents would be encouraging them to do that even more, because it will be cheaper on the parents' pocket as well. So step number 5, learn PowerPoint. Get someone to do this for you. It's very easy to do. You should have Microsoft Office on your computer when you bought your computer, your laptop. It's very easy to do and it's very easy to learn. You can just use it with Microsoft Office. And what you can do, you can prepare your best services initially in a Word document with your own color and theme and logo and the branding, if you want. I would try and do that if you have, for example, if your driving school is blue or red or purple, then try and keep that brand consistent with that. For example, as you can see, the logo is here. The logo is also on, the branding is also on the DIBC site. Everything's branded. If I'm going to send you a leaflet, it will be all with the purpley, bluey color and the black and the white text. And I'd also say that when you are preparing it, black text on white background is the best way to present. It's easy on the eye and people can absorb the information a lot better. Include images and testimonials as well. Very important, so people can see your PowerPoint slide there as well. But prepare this first in a Word document as well. Just brainstorm what you're going to be using, including your special offers, your pass rates, car, etc., and prepare it as if you were giving this presentation at the hotel, what I was explaining in the beginning of this as well. And this will all make sense. And like I said before, this is free. You should have this on your computer, and just 20 minutes a day just going over this will be absolutely fantastic for you as well. Step number 6, create a PayPal business account. Now, most ADIs do not have a PayPal account to receive payments, and you don't even need a website for this. Let me tell you a short story. When I decided to set up my own driving school after 2 years, I trained at BSM and I stayed at AA for 2 years. And it's very daunting and nerve-wracking as an ADI going out there, because you don't know whether you're going to be busy. Imagine, just think back when you was first going out by yourself, and you didn't know whether am I going to get all the inquiries in? And I remember my first car was the old shape, the second, I think it was the Mark II Micra, and the clutch on that was very sharp. And I contract hired that from one of the first contract hire companies. I can't remember the name of the company, but so I was paying, I don't know, 70 quid a week for the car, and I was advertising in Yellow Pages, and it's all very well paying for advertising and promoting out there, but I needed the pupils coming in. And I must be honest with you, there was a point where my diary the following week was looking very, very, very empty, and I was crapping myself. I was really concerned about that. I think, well, what's going to happen? I've got bills to pay, and what's going to happen? And I remember my website at the time was deso'connors.com. That was the name of my driving school. That was my first website, and I had PayPal set up on there for people to make payments on a credit card, or if they had a PayPal account. And to be honest with you, I didn't really understand PayPal then. I just thought, well, it looks good. That's on my website because no other driving instructors are using that. So I thought, okay, let me be different. And I remember I woke up one morning, that same morning where I just was explaining to you that I was a bit concerned about all the pupils. And somebody went to my website and paid for 30 hours, which at that time was about £560 or whatever it was. So can you imagine, it's gone from the day before not having any pupils, a lot of pupils, to someone's actually gone on my website and paid a block of 30 hours on my website. And I always remember that. However, most ADIs do not take credit card payments or PayPal payments because some ADIs just don't understand how that works. Oh, I'm not going to use PayPal. I'm just going to stick to what I know, just taking cash in the car, because not many people use checks now and that stuff as well. PayPal is free and easy to set up. Okay, you get charged a small percentage of a fraction per transaction, but that's the only thing that you'd pay. But it's free and it's easy to set up. So all you need to do is go to paypal.com. Now there's videos on YouTube that show you step by step on how you can set this up if you're concerned of doing it wrong or anything like that as well. Also, what you can do, you just call them up and they will talk you through how to set this up. That's how come I know about a lot of these things, because I just pick up the phone and ask, and that's how I work. And then you can get a lot of your questions answered that way. But how many of you now are receiving, have a credit card facility on your website? Or if you don't have a website, then how are you? Are you just taking cash payments? Just out of curiosity, you guys. Who's taking? Let's have a look. Brilliant. Dee, you do? Anybody else? How do you take your payments, Dee? Is it credit card or is it PayPal, or have you got one of those machines that you can use in a car as well, which like you get when you're in a restaurant? Okay, both. Excellent. And does it work well? Do you get advanced pupils? Do you wake up sometimes and you go into work or in the office and they paid via the website? Excellent. So that's another angle there. So someone just said to me as an ADI, they get loads of them, and I'm assuming the rest of you that haven't commented on that, I'm assuming that you don't, and you are missing out big time on that if you're not taking that. And you don't even need to have a PayPal account to take the payments from the pupils. It's very simple. They just go to the website and there's an option there where they can click if they don't have a PayPal account, and they pay for the blocks of lessons that you're advertising on your website, and you'll get money in the bank. And you're shooting yourself in the foot if this is an angle a service that you are not providing as well. It's 100% secure. Most people use this. Most people that use this, there's no problems with PayPal. It's secure. Everybody's aware of it. It's not a new company that people are, I'm a bit skeptical of using that. And you can take credit card payments as you sleep, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Absolutely fantastic. And that's one thing that from this one webinar, whatever you do to take away from something, set this up, upload it to your website, and get your designer to just put your lesson prices. So say, for example, if you book a block of 10 and it's £200, just have a book now button underneath, and that can be done. Failing that, if it's a bit more technical to you, when you set up a PayPal account, PayPal sends you a link. Okay, you don't need a website. So let's say, for example, you have a pupil that wants to book on their card. And remember, there's people that don't have cash, but they have a credit card. So they can pay on their credit card as well. Now, if they're ringing around and they're asking you, and we've all had this conversation, oh, do you take credit card? And you say, well, no, and they put the phone down, they're looking to pay on credit because they don't have the cash. It's very important. When PayPal sends you that link, they send you that link, and you then just send that link to your pupil. You email it to them or just send it to them on their phone by text or whatever. They then click on that link, takes them to the PayPal page, they type in their credit card details, and bang, the money's in your account. It's that simple. So, do you take credit card payments? If you don't, have a look at this. It's very, very important. Now, there's different types of PayPal accounts as well. There's a personal account, and that's ideal if you shop online, make secure payments on eBay, your merchandise, etc. There should be a button on the screen now. On this screen that you're on the top right hand side, there should be a camera. If you click on that, you could actually take a still screenshot of this image as well, or just go to PayPal's website. Then you've got the Premier account, perfect for both buying and selling, making secure payments on eBay, etc. You can accept credit cards, but the one you want as an ADI is the business account, the right choice for online business, which accepts credit card, debit cards, and bank account payments for low fees as well. So that is what you need for your driving school business. So give PayPal a ring or go to the website and set that up. And you can set it up in your own name. Step number 7, set up a GoToMeeting account for free. Now, this webinar that I'm presenting to you, when I first started, this is not my first webinar, but when I was holding webinars before, they give you a 30-day trial period, and what you do, you go to gotomeeting.com, and it's free for the first 30 days. So you can try it out and see how it works, and if you don't make any money, you haven't spent anything, and you can't go wrong with that with free. Then it's about £25 per month if you're just going to go for the smaller basic package, which is what I recommend that you do after that. There's no contract. You can have 25 attendees, or if you want to use GoToWebinar that has up to 100 attendees, then it's about £70 per month. But remember, it is still free to use that, okay? And it's very easy to set up. It's not going to go perfect the first time. I mean, a prime example of myself when I had mine last year, but I hope that you're happy with my presentation to date, because I've put a lot of work into this, and I've been doing lots of webinars because I usually hold webinars for my dating coaching services as well. I usually have sometimes 90, 100 or more so women on my webinar. So there's nothing that I don't know about that as well. And remember, 2 years ago, I was a novice and I ran a bad webinar. So then you go to set up a GoToMeeting account for free. This is the last step that you would use from all of that as well. You can go to, so there's two. There's GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar. So let's have a look at the differences between these two. This is a website that I've copied for you guys as well. Now, what's the difference between GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar? Now, GoToMeeting is basically supports 26 people only, including yourself, to attend. And if you have more than 26 people on your webinar, for example, this one here now, as it stands now, there's 76 of you on this webinar. I couldn't do this on a GoToMeeting, so this needed, when I launched this needed to be a GoToWebinar product, service. And basically how it works is that you just invite people along to your meeting, and then you give a presentation like this that I'm providing to you sort of now there as well. I'm not going into that in a lot more depth, but you can research that as well. So I'd recommend that you'd use GoToMeeting starting out, and the first 30 days are free. What I would also suggest is, if you're going to be using this, is don't go and take GoToWebinar today if you're going to use it in 3 weeks, because it wouldn't make sense doing that. what you need to do is get all your steps in place, make sure everything's in place and in the right strategy, and then what you then do is work backwards to go forward. And what I mean by that is get all the steps, get all the contacts, promote when you're ready to promote. Then when you're ready to promote and everything's in place, then you set up the GoToMeeting or the GoToWebinar link, and then as of today you promote it, because you may want to do 4 in a month and it's free. I hope that makes sense. So let's recap. Step number 1, you're going to prepare scripts that sell, post emails and texts. They're the scripts we was talking about. Step number 2, list all current pupils under the age of 21 that are at school, college, university, part of team events and stuff like that as well. It can be a bit daunting, but this will work for you. Step number 3, set up a YouTube account. Step number 4, decide on your best offers for your referrals and new pupils. Step number 5, learn PowerPoint. Get someone to do it for you if you know, or decide on your color and your theme as well. Step number 6, create a PayPal account to receive your payments. And step number 7, set up a GoToMeeting account for the 30-day trial. So this is all you need to do. Prepare the scripts that sell, set up a YouTube account, decide on your best offers like I said before, create a PayPal account, set up a GoToWebinar account for free, and all you need to do then is invite everyone to your webinar and sell. Does that make sense? So what you then do is you be doing exactly what you would do in the hotel, but from the comfort of your home. For example, what am I doing now? I'm providing you with some tips. Now this could be you with all your pupils, friends and families, inviting other people to come along and listen to what you are saying at the same time as well. Very, very powerful tip and very smart, and it's working. Because what you're doing is you're pinching very sneakily your fellow competitors' pupils, because if you've got a guy, an ADI that's up the road from you, he's most probably going to be competing with the pupils in your area. Now, could you do all this yourself? Could you? How many of you here, just out of curiosity, because we're wrapping up soon, but how many of you could just do those 7 steps and start to run your own webinar and start to do it straight away? How many of you could do that? Just out of show of hands. Nobody so far. So, okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter if you could not do that. Let's have a look. Somebody said, I would do it, but I would need some help. Okay, brilliant. Dee said he can do that. Caroline, it makes sense. It makes sense, but I'm not sure I could do all of that. Okay. Mark saying, yes, I can see exactly how this would work. I've never thought of that before. It is a very smart strategy. John is saying, I'm using this at the moment and I'm so busy, it's unreal. Great. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. Right. So, let's have a look. So when you do this webinar, you've got a lot of great information for me right now. Okay. Sorry, this is slowing down a bit, this webinar. So 1 second, someone's just posted a message, like to interact. Chris is saying, I feel I could do it, but it would take a little time to do correctly as I'm a perfectionist. Are you a Virgo, Chris, like me? But Chris, does the strategy I'm showing you make sense? I mean, actually, everybody that's on this webinar, does that strategy make sense? Chris, absolutely. Does it make sense? And as you know, if you plan this correctly, this will work. This method, I guarantee if you go through these steps and you keep practicing and practicing it, you will be busy all the time. There will be times when you could present to 10 pupils that are hot at the same time, and they will book lessons with you. Because what they're going to do is they're going to go to the webinar, and then you're going to give them a link at the end of the webinar, and they will click on that link and book the block lessons. And all of a sudden, you've got 10 pupils booking 10 hours with you or whatever. That's £2,000 for an hour of presenting before you've even actually met them. So if you haven't done a webinar before, it can be a bit overwhelming, right? Now, I'm talking from experience, definitely. So what can you do about it? Is it okay if I show you the fast and easy way to make all this happen for you? What about an even easier way to do this? Introducing my product, my course, how ADIs can easily get 10 block bookings in an hour for free. I'm launching now an online training course modules program which will cover all of what I've just showed you with a step-by-step 4-week online course where I'll be taking you through step-by-step on how you can start to get 10 block bookings in an hour for free. And as you notice, it would be for free. I did stress that, and those steps that I've showed you will be for free. So I'm going to be leading you by example. I'm going to be motivating you and inspiring you. I'm going to be your mentor, your coach. Remember, I've got experience with coaching and mentoring anyway. I'm going to help you to have a vision and how you're going to win and work as a team as well. So let's have a look what this online course will deliver. Scripts that sell. Scripts that sell. What you're going to receive is an online video coaching and e-course, and you need to know how to communicate with your pupils in a relaxed way. And if you want to send them texts, and you need to know when to send them the text the best time, and how to send it and what to say to them, and when to get pupils to post certain Facebook posts and videos online, email, what to say and how to send them, and what not to say in your car to get lots of referrals, because you need to know how to communicate with your pupils to get your message across. And you're going to discover how to get your pupils to register, pay in advance, and book lessons instantly, which will help you to get even more prepaid referrals, pupils. And the great thing with this Scripts that sells is that you'll be signing up all of your local ADI competitors' pupils as well. And that's valued, that online course there is valued at £97. Step number 2, how to run a successful ADI webinar. You may want to know, how can I just start to run a successful ADI training webinar for the pupils? So this course, online course, will show you how to set up your webinar, the top 7 mistakes that I made and how to avoid them. So I'm going to be showing you how I mucked up on my webinar when I was doing that, and how you can avoid those as well. How to invite your guests, how to get your absentees to still buy. For example, with this webinar now, there's about another 22 or 3 people that haven't attended, but that's still fine, because I can still send them a replay of this webinar. How to make your webinar a selling machine after the webinar. I will show you how you can make that webinar a promotional tool after. How to get paid for block bookings when you're asleep 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And how to get high sign-up conversions from your webinar. And how to present a successful webinar. And there's no other ADIs in the UK that has access to this, only the ones that I've been working with as well. Just a small selection. Now this course is a bit more expensive, it's valued at £197, but it's an online video instant access to that as well. So you get a presentation like this being shown how to do this. Step number 3, how to decide on your best offers for referrals and new pupils. Now you need to know which offers to promote, what not to promote, and how to use your personality to easily get more referrals. And the best times to mention this to your pupils, because some people don't know when is the best time. For example, it might be when they've just reversed around a corner for the first time, and you know that look on their face when they've actually just did that, and that's the best time to say to them, actually, how many of your friends would like to learn how to do that? Why don't you send them a text now? Just you see, simple things like that. And why videoing happy pupils will always get you several referrals. Now this online program is valued at £127. Number 4, how to sell your webinars to your pupils. Now you're going to get real videos of ADIs selling to pupils, okay? Now what's going to happen is you're going to be seeing in the car a pupil, an ADI and a pupil, and the ADI is going to be selling using a script to the pupils. So you can just copy that. So you're going to physically actually see that, how they're booking them in, what to say so you receive maximum exposure, what to text Facebook, Twitter, etc., how to use those, LinkedIn with it as well, what paperwork forms to use as well. It's very important that you have a form that you can use to take these details down, and how to get your pupils to give you all their friends to book lessons with you. There's such an easy way in how you can do that. This is valued, this is all online, valued at £147. So here's what you get. You're going to get the product one, scripts that sell, which is £97. You're going to get product number two, how to run a successful webinar, £197 value. Product number three, how to decide on your best offers for referrals and new pupils, £127 value. And product number four, how to sell your webinars to your pupils, online videos, £147. Total value is £568 if you was to pay for that right now. So let's have a look at some of the satisfied ADIs that I've been working with. Hi Des, before I started to use your course, I was lost. I was struggling, I was depressed, I was wasting time and couldn't get regular pupils. Then I used your product and got the results I wanted in 5 days. Thanks to you, I have a full diary in advance for 8 weeks. Chock-a-blocked up. I don't know what I would do without your coaching. Thanks Des, and that's Peter from London. Excellent. Another testimonial, Des, this method is so simple, I'm surprised that the larger driving schools have not realized this, and I have no intentions of sharing this with other ADIs in my area, as they will all use it. Thanks, Des. That was Dave in Exeter. Another one here, I was very skeptical about this when I first heard about it, but when Des showed me what simple things I needed to do, my pupils were flooding in. I'm now in a position to take on more ADIs. Thanks, Des. Sally from London. I mean, I'm based in London anyway, but Sally was very skeptical in the beginning. And the reason why Sally was skeptical, because she knew about DIBC 2 years ago and the problem that was happening then. So obviously she was a bit, oh, I don't know. So she's very, very happy, and she's applying this method. Excellent. Plus, I want to reward you. If you already made up your mind, you'll be happy to hear that you'll get these awesome bonuses as well. Now, we're going to be wrapping up soon, so I'm just going to go over what else. You're going to get some special bonuses I'm going to be throwing in as well. You're going to be getting the bonus one, which is the PowerPoint Selling Converting Template. And what you're going to be getting is you will receive this ADI PowerPoint template, which will help you present a successful webinar. No need to prepare, as you just simply fill in the blanks. Now wouldn't that be good? This converts and will save you so much preparation time, all done for you, valued at £97. So what that basically means, you would get a template PowerPoint presentation specifically for your pupils. So you can just fill in the blanks, fill in your perks, fill in your prices, and that's all you'd need to do. And that way it saves you having to learn PowerPoint, saves you having to go out and design it and type it all up yourself. But there's another bonus as well. I'm going to give you another bonus as well. An ADI, let's go back there a minute, sorry, ADI life coaching video. Now, you receive a complete online life coaching course that will help you to get into the correct mindset and set your goals and plans. Now, that will be good as well. And that's valued at £127. So you're just going to basically be being coached by myself and how you can get into the correct mindset, set your goals and plan as well. But there's more I'm going to be giving away. Another special bonus, I'm going to be giving away 10 business and personal development ebooks as well. You will receive 10 ebooks on business, marketing, social media, and personal development as well. This will help you learn more about being a successful person, which will enable you to run a successful driving school. Now, as you know, that will be absolutely fantastic. Each ebook is valued at £27 as well. And that's another bonus you're going to be receiving there as well. So it's valued at $270. But there's more. How to make YouTube and webinars work for your ADI business, valued at £97. This will show you how to set up your YouTube account, how to make it a promotional tool, how to add your videos to your account, how to upload to your Facebook page, and the 7 secret mistakes you must avoid, and the reasons why you must record all happy pupils and upload this to your account as well. Valued at £97 as well. You're getting a full training for that as well. And there's more. How to make PayPal and your webinars work for your ADI business. This covers how to set up your PayPal account if you're a bit skeptical or a bit nervous about doing that. How to make sure you get paid instantly. How to get paid by credit card by non-PayPal customers. You don't have to be a PayPal customer to take payments. And how to take instant payments in your car from your pupil and pupil's friends on the phone after a lesson. Very, very powerful. Just imagine you've just given a pupil a lesson and they've just booked another 10 hours. They've rung up their mum and they've just gone through your PayPal account on their phone in the car. And he says, actually, you know something, my mate's, Dave's dad wants to book a block of 10 as well. You can get that, you can do that straight away in your car on PayPal from your phone. You don't even need your laptop, from your mobile phone. Very, very easy to do. I've purchased tickets for events from PayPal on my phone. Very, very easy to do. And now you'll be able to take credit card payments. And there's more. There's more. I'm going to provide you with a knockout bonus. This is absolutely the biggest one out of all of them, I think. I will actually host and help you host your first webinar that you arrange. As long as you just invite the people, I will host it for you. All you need to do is turn up and give your presentation. This is valued at £147. You get me to host your first webinar within 90 days to make sure it runs smoothly. You will have me guiding you and helping you, and I guarantee to make sure your webinar is a success. So leading up to that, I'll be coaching you and telling you what you need to do, and you may not know what to put in the presentation, and I will be able to help you with that as well. You will be well ahead of your fellow ADIs in your area, as you know. So here's what you get. You're going to get the product number 1, the scripts that sell, that's at £97. You're going to get the product number 2, how to run a successful ADI webinar at £197. Product number 3, how to decide on your best offers for referrals and new pupils. Product number 4, how to sell your webinars to your pupils, the video online. And there's going to be the bonuses as well, the PowerPoint selling converting template, which is valued at £97, ADI live coaching video, which is £127, the ebooks, 10 ebooks, £270, how to make YouTube and your webinars work for your ADI business, £97, bonus as well, how to make PayPal and your webinars work for your ADI business, ADI coaching course, total value £1,353. Now, I know for a fact I'm not expecting, if you want to purchase this, I'm going to do something really absolutely fantastic for you today. You'd get instant access to this. So what that means is that you'd be able to have access to this on a weekly basis over 4 weeks, all this information. And once you've made the investment for this, it's yours. It's yours for life. You can access that as many times as you want. But I want to be drip feeding this to you. I want to be just sending you step-by-step homework and steps that you need to do within this online program. Like I said, it's valued at £1,353, and you receive instant access to that as well. So the online training course only is £97. That's it. There's no other extras. That is basically it. And you just go to drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com/course, and you make a payment. I'll contact you, get any questions answered, and you can start to work on your business on all the information that I've been going over there with you as well. You're not going to receive everything at the same time, because it'd be too much and too overwhelming. There's going to be step-by-step processes that you need to do. Maybe you need a little bit more time on listing and preparing your pupils and stuff like that, the listings and all those things there as well. So that's £97. But what I want to also say is a special announcement as well, because we're coming up to the end of this webinar and I want to take some questions as well. What I want to do is I'm providing a whole day workshop where you can have access to me for a whole day. You get me to train you in a whole day ADI business and marketing workshop on Sunday the 6th of April 2014, valued at £697 for the whole day, because what I'm going to be sharing with you is going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be bigger than the online training course which I'm selling as well. And this is going to be taking place at a hotel in Heathrow. It's a one-day training course, Sunday the 6th of April at Heathrow, and it's a one day of top coaching and mentoring coaching, and it's how to make sure you can get so many pupils that you would have several on hold, and how to have thousands in the bank in advance before you even start to teach them to drive. And that will be at the hotel there as well. So let's just recap on what we're going to be covering on the course. All what I've just went over now, you will be receiving in-depth training on all of these on the one-day workshop. I'm going to be going over all of these and more. And there's also going to be a top social media expert's going to come in as well. One of the top social media experts in the world. She's going to come in and go through Facebook strategies for you as well, which will, it's going to be mind-blowing for you as well. Also, I'm going to be going, I don't know if you're aware, if you've ordered, there's a DVD, a free DVD that I have. All you pay is for the shipping, and I will be covering this also, all of these secret ways on the one-day workshop as well. 14 secret ways on how to run a very successful driving school. So I'm going to go over all the online courses that are promoted, and the 14 secret ways on how to run a very successful driving school as well. Now, if you haven't ordered this DVD, I'd go to the website and order it now, because as of today, over the next week to 10 days, this is going to be shipped out to all the ADIs all over the UK. And it was my way of just letting you guys know that this isn't a con. I'm giving as well as receiving, but you can check out my tips, and if you like what my tips are on my DVD, then you're more likely to want to do more business with me as well. There's nobody in the ADI industry providing this as well, and it's a £97 DVD. You're going to receive coaching on there, how you can there's some stuff on there I haven't even covered on this webinar. There's more tips on there as well. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. I've always believed in that since I've been getting into coaching. So have a think about that. On the course, on the one-day workshop, lunch and refreshments are all included all day on this course as well. It's £697 value, but for the first ADIs only, it's £147 for today only. I only want to work with 20 to do that course as well, the one-day workshop. Now, what would a whole day of training do for your business? Only 20 ADIs can attend, and if you want to book your place for that, you just need to go to drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com/workshop, and it will be all on there. And it will all be on there on drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com soon anyway. So, yeah, that would be great. Also, what I would say, I have a 100% guarantee. If you do not make your full investment back from this course within 3 months, I will refund you your fee. No questions asked, and you can't get a better deal offer than that. This is how confident I am this will work for you, and it's only for the first 20 that comes to the workshop. So if you've got any questions specifically, just email me, des@drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com, or call me on the number 01652 641 351 there as well. So ADI, thanks for attending this webinar, but before we just finish off, you have 3 options. 3 options now what you can do. You can keep relying on referrals, adverts, Facebook and Google, etc., like you've always done. Or you can purchase my online course for the £97. Or you can attend my one-day workshop on Sunday the 6th of April for only £147, the whole day workshop. Which one are you going to choose? And it's only for the first 20 for the workshop. Please go to drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com/free DVD to even order the DVD. If you don't want to invest in the course or the workshop, then just get the DVD, because I've got some really good tips in there as well, how you can start to implement strategies right away there as well. Just go to that website and you can order it there. And all you pay is for the shipping, which is about £3.30, and it'll be delivered to your home. So go to drivinginstructorbusinesscoaching.com/ if you want the online coaching program, the course. You can go there now and get it now for £97. And does anybody have any questions before I start to wrap up? That was the end of the presentation, but if anybody's got any questions, please fire away. Oh, they're flying in now. Can we pay cash? Can we pay cash for the for the courses? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. What I would actually say also is that if you was interested in, for example, I'll come back to that if anybody's got any questions. 1 second. Something else that you might find interesting as well, some of you. One thing you've got to bear in mind when you're doing your webinars is that this bottom left-hand side here can be a bit stick. Now, we're going to come back to the questions in a sec, but if you go to driving-businesscoaching.com/courses for £97, that's the online course. The workshop is on Sunday, the April the 6th. It's the workshop, but if you order both of those, you'll get them both for £197, so you save £47 as well. So if you wanted to order the online course and also attend the workshop, then you can do that, and I'll take a discount off that as well. Let's have a look. Got loads of questions here. Excellent presentation. I didn't expect this presentation to be as good as it was, considering what happened a couple of years ago. I'm assuming you was on that webinar. Thank you. Thank you for that. Excellent tips. Let me just ask a question to those of you that are on the webinar now. How many of you are going to possibly start to implement these, even if you don't purchase the program? But how many of you are considering just actually, I could actually start to use this? Thank you, Dee. Absolutely, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Sally, yes, absolutely. Brilliant. So, Chris, so you and Dee as well. Can you see how easy this can be used and utilized? Everybody seems to be saying yes. Someone says to me, how much would it cost to stay at the hotel on the Saturday night before? I can get some. I'm going to be creating a page for this, Michael, and I will be speaking to the hotel and getting a good rate. I think you can stay at the hotel the night before for about £50, but there's travel lodges that are local anyway that sometimes you can you can use travel lodge for about £30 as well. So if you're coming from far, up north or somewhere far, then you would be able to actually do that as well. Any other questions? Anybody else got any questions before we wrap up? How did you find the presentation, the webinar? Was it good for you? Was it not good? Please let me know. Yes, it was excellent. Thank you. Brilliant. Anybody else? Good. Excellent. Yes. Anybody else? Someone has said, why has larger driving schools contacted you for this? No. I'm in two minds whether to go down that route. At the moment, I just want to work with ADIs like yourselves, and how you can implement that as well. So no, I haven't at the moment. Which we'll wait and see. The thing is, most people are afraid of using webinars. It's very technical, and you need to know what you're doing with it. And if you're going to do what I did 2 years ago and just underestimated how complicated it can be, then the last thing you want is to have like 10 pupils on a webinar, and it goes wrong. You just lose credibility. I mean, I lost so much credibility when I did this 2 years ago. that, you know, it just took a lot out of myself, and that's why I decided to come back and actually know exactly what I'm actually gonna be doing as well. So Michael, I'm gonna book in now. So Michael's booking the he said I'm booking the workshop and the online course. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Michael. Look forward to meeting you, sir. Great. Certainly a lot of food for thought. Thanks, Des. Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much. How did you, out of curiosity, Chris, how did you hear about this webinar? Was you on the mailing list from 2 years ago, or did you get a text or an email? How did you hear about this? Just know my marketing is working. Listen, guys, this is the easiest and simplest way on how you can get loads of pupils easily, and it's very, very sneakily, and it's very smart, and you're not doing anything wrong, and you could set this up and plan it, and you've just got, you know, 10, 15 pupils on a webinar just like this as well. Oh, okay. I actually stumbled across you previously. However, on this occasion, I noticed a sponsored post on Facebook. Oh, did you? Okay, because I didn't really do any sponsoring. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks for that, Chris. Brilliant. Anybody else got any more questions? Remember, you can email me at des@Driving Instructor Business Coaching if you have any questions, because I'm going to be closing up the webinar shortly. Thank you for your time today. I hope it was informative, and just listen, even if you don't purchase any of my programs or you don't come to the workshop, just try and just use what I've just said and just see how it goes. And it's free. You've got nothing to lose, really, and see how it goes. And it may mean that you may start it and realize, actually, I need a bit more coaching and mentoring and coaching. And the online courses, we'll just send them to you every week. You'll get different modules that you can utilize and use, and you can just do that, learn that at your own pace, especially if you're trying to recruit more ADIs as well, because once you're so busy, you can let other ADIs know exactly what you're doing. Okay then, guys, thank you. I think I'm going to wrap it up. Anybody got any questions, other questions before I close? Thank you for your time. And like I said, if you've got any questions, then please feel free to give me a shout, and have a good rest of the week.